Just maybe also my introduction. Jan Curn is the founder and the CEO of Apify. To be truthful, I actually researched today, and we contacted one of my developers. We were using Apify, and one of my developers introduced me, or we asked to be introduced to you, and that was hard. So it was like a journey of 8 months, and here we are. Indeed. So thank you for being here. Radek is the co-founder of Superface and CEO, and I guess Radek is personally has offered me mentoring, and I benefited from that a lot. So like Max, that's great. Thank you for being here. I over the last 2 months I couldn't reach you, and that was a problem. So here you are. I can ask you questions. Simon from Supernova. Well, what can I say? So first, I guess something. What I know about you, you are doing a podcast. You're very, very professional in sales. At least I have the feeling. Right?
Do you want me to introduce myself?
No. Okay. Yeah. I just give you. Yeah. So
I know myself really well. Even my therapist admits I know myself.
I mean.
I think that. Sorry. I have to also think my voice is loud enough, like I'm a priest or something, and everyone can hear me.
You have a story about Facebook, right? Facebook API or not? Or do I remember?
Well, that's connected to that company, so Prism, because like there's. This was to Hans's point that this is not a grey area necessarily. It's an uncharted area, but there's. When I was trying to get data from Google, it felt we were dealing with a monopoly who was manipulating their monopoly position, their access to Google data. So it was like they own that access, but surely they should open it up, and surely we should have access. But there was no sense that was actually something they wanted to do because it wasn't worth their while. With the SoPrism story, there was a big scandal, which I actually forget the name of it, but basically it was discovered that Facebook was opening up so much of their data that anyone could see it. So there was lots of personally identifiable information, and that it was a London-based company that was doing Cambridge Analytica. Thank you. So Cambridge Analytica meant that there was loads of personally identifiable. You could see that a Brexit voter or someone who was who had this kind of profile was probably someone who might vote for Brexit. And then they could target these individuals and say, like, if you send John a few refugee pictures, he will vote Brexit. So they knew this. So that's not what Facebook data is supposed to be for. It's meant to be segmented, etc. But that had an impact on companies like SoPrism because they were doing something that sounded a bit like Cambridge Analytica, but it wasn't. It was entirely segment-based. People who like a MacBook also drink Pilsner or Quell. This kind of I'm not sure if that's true, but maybe they drink craft beer, I don't know. But
I have my book.
There you go. So Hansa's a good example, but we would not have known it was Hansa. We would have known that this was a guy, 30 to 45, who drinks Pilsner and uses a Mac. So that was never that guy, but Cambridge Analytica pushed that. But that meant that the regulations around the API tightened, and we had to go through this process. It wasn't my company, by the way. This is other founders had to deal with that nonsense, unfortunately. But ultimately, they got through. But it delayed things 6 months, 9 months, and investors had to put more money. Yeah.
What's your name again? Yeah.
Matej.
Matej. So, for example, Matej has a LinkedIn automation startup that is also integrating with LinkedIn. And there are thousands of them, and they are not threatened anymore because LinkedIn lost a legal case. And this is the first, and the second one is the technical one. We analyzed all the cases, like what they potentially could do. It's very, very costly for them. It's very, very costly for them to chase small people, small guys. And it's very, very easy for us to change and recognize these changes. And they are actually by law prohibited to do that because it's unfair competition.
Well, thank you.
It's my pitch.
It's old school, right? So we need to use the data to allow us to create some type of application which we have in our head, which helps us, in our lives. So one of the things is that you can take it as an advantage and show them the use cases show them the benefits, what they can do. There is a really nice article I can share with you about some Brazil bank which opened and which really generated revenue based on the opening of their APIs. So the APIs is the infrastructure how to take some digital capabilities out of the bank to the hands of some company. That's how we see. That's where we see the business. To immediately take the digital capability, which is the value, and transfer it to somebody immediately who wants to use it. Not like asking developers, to work on the lines. You're in the position that they don't have the API gateways. You must push them somehow. Show them right example, and you can tell them you will be the first. We saw it in US with open banking. We see this in Europe with PSD2, and there should be something, and they will benefit from it.
And then I remember like 5 years ago, we had this call with two guys who were just like actually I think they actually were they were working for this company, and they came back to Europe, and they were like looking for ways how to automate browsers to extract data from web banking, and they founded a company called TrueLayer, and now they are the biggest European vendor in that, and raised like I don't know like how many $100 million for that. So I'm sure there's an opportunity in Africa now, and basically the bank is coming, and the APIs, eventually the banks open up their APIs and they just reconnect really, and they have their product already and user base. So
Where can people go to register?
But it's on. You will share this.
Okay,
so
okay.
It's
Don't
private,
know, yeah,
but really, I will be in the
ask
back in the
Radek.
kitchen. Ask me, and
Yeah,
I will
okay.
share the link with you.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just need to be like
yeah.
not scaling too fast, right?
I just want to say thanks again to Depo Ventures, Sebastian, and the team. I really appreciate your help. Thanks to Dan. Dan, do you want to say something about your company? Take your time. Take your. No. Okay. So thank you, Dan, for volunteering and filming. Thanks to G&T. I'm not sure Martin is no. Okay. Anybody else from G&T? No? Okay, so you will be eating their food. So I guess. And I want also to thank Simona and the HubHub team. They actually to tell you I'm personally the reason it's here is because I'm very satisfied with HubHub and I'm telling you this because I was in at least 5 different co-workings, and from my perspective, HubHub is the best startup community, the most tolerant. Let's put it like that. There is the other two kicked me out, and then and so I think that we expect the next event will be in a month. It's a monthly event. And if you subscribed, I guess you subscribed, then you have a ticket. I will spam you, and unless you want to unsubscribe, and then you can join next event. The next event is about B2B sales, and then we plan another one about blockchain, and we plan another one about how to raise money and how to hire people. It's all about startups, around startups.